All right, guys. Welcome to the Client Acquisition Blueprint. In this section today, we're going to go over how to attract and retain valuable clients for your AI as a service business. These are the methods that I have personally used and they work extremely well. One would argue that this is probably the most important module that exists as part of this course, how to actually get client. So let's talk about the first client roadmap and what that looks like. So when we think about the first client, everybody's a little bit intimidated. It's kind of that big milestone that seems so far away when you're just getting started. And every single successful business out there, from the giants to the newcomers, started with just getting one clients, then going to their 5, then going to their 10. And I always say, if you can get 1, you can get 10. If you can get 10, you can get 50. If you can get 50, you can get 100. Just a rinse, wash, repeat type of system. So once you've gotten that first client on board, everything starts to click. You gain that confidence, you gain that momentum, and you gain that proof that your service actually delivers results. So let's talk about the client acquisition process and what that looks like. Now, this is a field that has a lot of information out there, especially on the internet. It's really not any sort of luck or any sort of secret formulas that is attached to this, but it's rather having a consistent process to identify and reach out to as many potential clients. It's input equals output. We're very big on having a strategic, numbers-driven approach to finding and connecting with the right prospect. So the key here is to be systematic and persistent in your outreach to maximize your chance of success. The more people you reach out to, the better your chances might be. Now, you could do this with partners who already have existing client base, so to speak. You could do this with direct end sort of businesses. So the partners might pay you a little bit more just because they're agency clients, they already service those customers, or it could be more specific to ideal companies, which we'll talk about right now in the niche that you pick. So first up, you need to narrow your focus. Focus on a very specific niche. And remember earlier in this course, we did talk about picking your niche and sticking to it. So instead of trying to appeal to everybody, zero in on a business in your niche that are most likely to benefit from what you offer. Think of small, accessible companies that you can realistically connect with. I would say in the early days, right, depending on who you're targeting, if you're brand new, you need to target under 50 employees. I would say under 10 million in revenue. If you had mid-market experience, go after mid-market. Try to stay under 500 employees. That's kind of the sweet spot to keep things moving. And then, of course, if you have the network, please feel free to go after those 1,000 and larger clients. So think of these small, accessible companies that you can realistically connect with. Make a list of these 50 ideal companies, which, to be honest with you, is not a lot, right? Because keep in mind, input equals output. So you're going to have certain conversion rates. If you're planning on calling them, if you're planning on emailing them, you're going to have certain milestones and certain conversion rate. If you're getting a 1% reply rate or a 3% reply rate on calling, double down on the thing that's working at 3%. So you can kind of do the math backwards, right? So you will need to make a list, and the key is to focus on those types of businesses that are most approachable. So ones that you can realistically connect with the decision makers and actually go after and stick to those accounts, so to speak. So it's all about finding the decision makers, right? Identify the people at these companies, identify the decision makers. There's so many tools available today. These are the people who have the authority to say, yes, let's do this right away. So finding these people takes a little bit of a digging, but it's worth the effort. We can definitely, our community can definitely guide you from where to get it. You can check people's websites if you want. LinkedIn is a great resource as well. There's Facebook groups and pages, and any small business owners manage their own social media pages. You can DM them there. And there's so many contact info tools, right? That give you phone numbers, emails, and the likes of, and we can give you some data to work with as well. So calls and in-person is very good if the business is local, right? Join your referral network community, get those word of mouths going. Face-to-face impressions really leave a lasting impact. And then same things attribute to calls as well. Calls are fantastic. So look for the decision makers, look for the managers, look for the owners, look for the directors, depending on the size of the company itself, and figure out who you're going after and the channel you're going to go after. You're going to find the decision makers' information, so to speak. So we always say once you figure that out, which is phase 1, take a multi-channel approach, right? Reach out to these prospects through various channels, call them, email them, hit them from every single angle. It's super important to pick that method of contact and reach out with a strategic offer that essentially is based on transformation and solving problems, right? You're not selling them anything. You got to be a service provider over here that's going to provide them a service. So one thing that I'm finding that's working really well is go to businesses and say, hey, can I just work with you to figure out where leakage might be in your business and where AI could possibly add value to cut spend? So is this something that you're interested in AI workshop, so to speak, a 30-minute session where I learn a little bit about your business and share with you some free ideas on where AI can add value in your business to help you cut costs. And then just run through the AI workshop, which is a template that you're going to get as part of this. So that's something that we're seeing work really, really well, learn about their business, and then eventually kind of relay the solution on how voice AI can solve their problems because they might have a bunch of revenue lost due to XYZ. So key is take a multi-channel approach, right? Reach out on as many channels as you can find them, understand your prospect, get in front of them, put yourself in the prospect's shoes, figure out what they're most likely to respond. We know realtors spend a lot of time on Facebook. Dentists probably spends more time on their email or phone call or in person. So lead with the value. If the prospect seems hesitant, present the free offer to them. You can always install the free bubble just to kind of get on their radar. And most people will be wowed by that, so to speak. So we always say get a wedge in and then start the conversation and offer a strategic solution, right? Give them that transformation. How are you going to turn lost sales into 24/7 revenue for them? Outreach methods, like I said, there's so many. There's social media DMs like LinkedIn and Facebook. These channels are great for just casual introductions. Keep it light and friendly, so to speak. There's email outreach, which is very big. You can set up personalized messages, target the email addressing specific things. Obviously, you have to do this in a strategic way because email has gotten crowded as a channel, so to speak. Believe it or not, you want to keep it professional, concise, and actionable. Nobody reads long emails. So we'll share some templates and stuff with you guys that you guys can just leverage here if you're planning on running outbound email or a strategic way to kind of do that. Calling, right? This one's the big one. So to be honest with you, calling's making a comeback in 2025. I've been in touch with a lot of San Francisco and New York-based startups where we're based. We're seeing calling work very well. It's a direct and impactful approach, right? It's an input-output. Of course, it's a numbers game. Sometimes you're going to get people at a bad time or whatnot. So it's important to respect their time and schedule a call back if they're not ready to talk away, or offer to send them an email with kind of a free offer, run an AI workshop for them. So really, the thing we're finding is leave a voicemail, follow up with them. These outreach methods are super important. You got to figure out how to prospect and get in front of those customers. Today, more than ever, calling is working a lot. On social media, what's working really, really well is voice notes, right? And video. So on video, you can use a tool like Clipio to create a personalized video message, right? And that can kind of go over the customer's website, so to speak, and just walk them through what this tool could possibly do for them. So Clipio is a great tool that essentially goes over this website and guides users. So that's fantastic. It's like a personalized AI tool that you could run at scale. Voice notes are fantastic as well, right? So you could record voice notes and send them as a text or DM in LinkedIn. And we think that's fantastic to massively improve response rates. So we have some examples included in the downloads folder that you can sort of do. Keep in mind, right? Business owners are very busy people. They're getting bombarded with dozens of DMs, emails, and phone calls. If you don't have a network, you do need to get personal and creative here. So leveraging some of these tools is a way to reach out to them because nobody else is doing them, and you're bound to sort of get message, and then the lead itself provides a much better response. So hopefully that provides some guidance. And don't be afraid, just pick up the phone. Like I said, phone today is actually working very, very well. So definitely give that a try. Now, outreach is all about consistency. It's all about consistency and persistence. So it takes about 11 touch points to close a sale. So don't just give up if you don't get a response you're looking for the right way, right? I've run sales teams before. I've managed sales teams before. I've worked in sales teams before. Even for AQX, how we got started is just by cold calling, just to kind of understand the pain point of customers. So persistent is really part of the game, and you do have to make those touch points. That's just a regular sales process. And it's something that everyone has to get comfortable with. So let's, take this momentum, dive into how to streamline your outreach with sort of ready-made tools and templates, so to speak. So once you've gotten your list of target companies, you've identified the decision makers, and you've chosen a channel to start contacting people, now it's time to start your outreach, right? And I made this part as simple and stress-free as possible. So we have ready-to-use templates designed for you to do the heavy lifting. So if you want to do the initial outreach, you could utilize templates. You really don't need to reinvent the wheel here. These templates are designed to help you communicate your offer effectively. Each one, whether it's through calls, emails, or DM, each one is tailored to highlight the benefits of AI and sort of sell this transformation of revenue loss that might be attributed to this business. So keep things clear, keep things professional, be genuine, be authentic to yourself, and you can access these templates in the content folder below, which might be beneficial to you. So personalization, like I said, is super important, right? So to truly make an outreach personalized, it's a very, very important part. So maybe you want to reference something about a company or a person, what they might be using, shared interests of some sort, tailor their offer, right? Focus on how your service can solve their specific problems. Revenue loss is kind of what you're solving for here. So guide these folks through that, right? It's actually very important to kind of sell that transformation. You're not selling benefits of the product itself. You're selling this AI as a service. You're trying to identify revenue loss into their business and how this could add to their bottom line, how you could turn that revenue loss from a cost center to a revenue center. So tweak that language, sound natural, remain true to your voice. The goal is to connect like a human, not a robot. So that's important. And don't be afraid to play around, tinker, and tweak these, test different approaches, tweak different messages, see what resonates. It's always an experiment. Today, cold outbound is a dynamic process, and what works for one client might not work for you, and that's okay. So adjusting as you go is part of the game. But outbound teams is something that every large Fortune 500, all the way up from Microsoft to mid-market to a startup sort of use. And these are the outbound methods that are working today. So to recap, what's working really, really well in DMs is like voice notes. What's working really, really well in email is these video like notes, so to speak, so people go watch it. The third one that's working super, super well on calls itself. Surprisingly, calls are making a comeback, but you have to add value and you have to have a good enough offer, and you have to definitely pump up the numbers because it's not as scalable. So those are the channels. And then of course, social media is big too, right? So build your digital presence, right? First impression for potential clients matter. So you kind of need to build that trust. You need to have that polished digital presence, which is kind of like your online business card. So we always say, leverage the post that we are already creating. You can create an AQX Pro partner network page and just market it. So that's something that's going to attract clients before you even reach out. This is like your business card. You want to showcase to them that you're professional, credible, ready to help. This is something that builds authority and gives clients the confidence that they need, that they're getting service from the right individual. So this is very, very important. Think about it. So the first thing that people do when they speak to someone is they Google you. So the first thing that they Google when they Google AQX partner, AQX, they need to see you or what it is, what AQX does. And that's something that's going to make or break them. So at our level, that's something that we're going to try to do. Make sure that your profile branding's sharp and makes you think, wow, this person and this company knows what they're doing. So it can't be inconsistent. It can't be outdated. Leverage the material that we're going to give you. We're going to be doing a lot of marketing. So just feel free to repost that if you like, or just rely on us. So that's kind of our job. But digital presence is super, super important. Put your best foot forward. Super critical here. So when it comes to digital presence tools, right? We've given you banners, we've given you bios, we've given you summary, we've given you post builders. So we've really created this turnkey thing, which is designed to be the digital presence builder. So it's a file with all the tools you need to create a cohesive and professional online image. And it includes brands. So you can upload our ready-made banner to your LinkedIn profile. It's like a visual handshake for anyone who visits your page. You got like a digital billboard for anyone looking for your service. We have professional bios. So you could use your pre-crafted bio that highlights your expertise and how you help clients. We've given some prompts as a summary of a copywriter. So use that prompt I include in the file to have AI build a professional summary to your description to establish authority and credibility. A well-written bio and summary really today will include the keywords that will make you show up more often in people's search results. For post builder, same thing. Use the post builder prompt, right? Use it in the file to create your first post and build social proof as an expert in the space. So again, all these resources are available in the file link below that you guys can just access and leverage. Now, when it comes to client fulfillment and beyond, right? You want to give that amazing Amazon-like experience. You want to turn your prospects into these loyal partners, so to speak. So landing the client is just the beginning, right? The real magic happens when you deliver an amazing experience that turns them from a prospect to a loyal partner, and focus on fulfilling their needs, right? Build a trust, set the foundation up for a long term, go through our implementation checklist. Everything should be streamlined. Everything should be a process, right? You should be very proactive in your implementation rather than being reactive, and leverage the implementation resources that we have. If there's bottlenecks that you're getting stuck in, share that with us so we can kind of guide you towards the right direction. All that is super, super critical to keep moving things forward. Now, from a discovery conversation, when you land the first meeting itself, right? Don't just assume that you know exactly what your client needs. So even if you're confident that voice AI can solve their problems, it's crucial to start with a discovery conversation. This is your chance to listen, learn, and really understand their business challenges. Ask questions like, what's their biggest pain point in your daily operations? Are there any specific times when you feel overwhelmed by customer interaction? So the goal of the discovery conversation is to really, truly understand the client's needs and challenges rather than just making assumptions. So by asking some of these thoughtful questions, we can learn about their specific pain points and how we can best address them. But really, what you want to be doing is you want to show genuine interest in the client's unique situation, how you can demonstrate that you care, and how you can find the right solution for them. So these are insights that we're going to gather during the first initial conversation to help us refine our approach and deliver even better solutions in the future. So just leverage the discovery template that we have and guide the initial conversations that way to ensure that you demonstrate value to your end customer. Now, When it comes to actually presenting the implementation plan, start super, super small. Begin with automating just after hour plans as an example. So I think the best way to kind of structure this is once you've gotten a clear picture of their needs, it's time to sort of present an implementation plan. This is post proposal. So this is a relatively new technology. Some clients may not be comfortable going all in right away. Starting small is sort of the best approach over here. So if they're overwhelmed by after hours, start by just automating those calls with the voice agents. And as they see results and build trust in the system, you can gradually expand to handle more complex tasks or just have like a specific guideline. So make it manageable for them, gives them the confidence to kind of keep moving forward, do everything step by step, and just be very, very helpful for them. Follow the implementation plan because that's what's going to help them. It shouldn't take you more than a week or so to get a client up and running. And ideally, you do all that in one meeting, right? 1 hour, you set it all up and you hammer through the tasks. So ensure clients are happy, right? We strongly believe in making sure that your client is happy before you can step back and you call the setup complete. So this means setting clear expectations, delivering on your promises, and checking in regularly to make sure that they're seeing results. A simple sort of framework that you can follow is present the plan itself, clearly outline what you're going to deliver to them and by when, and then just execute, stick to your timeline and communicate throughout the process. So ask for their thoughts. Once the solution is live, not only does that ensure that they're satisfied, but also helps you improve your service in the future. Keep that cycle going. Present it, execute it, gather feedback. It's super, super important. Now, leverage referrals, right? Happy clients are your best salespeople. So keep on sort of asking for referrals after delivering the value. We know that word of mouth is something that works really, really well. So once your client sees the value, what you've delivered, don't be shy about asking for a referral. They will give it to you. Leverage a referral program if you want, right? So you'd be surprised at how often people are willing to recommend you when you've genuinely helped them. So I have a core focus on that. I think that's super, super important. Now, this is the blueprint in action, right? I always say consistency is the key to progress and results. So all of these steps kind of work together, but none of it matters without taking any action. So consistency is your biggest weapon, right? Even if it feels like you're moving slowly, every email, every DM, every call is progress. And progress, no matter how small, adds up. Input equals output. So over time, these small steps create momentum, and momentum is what creates results. So it's time to take what you've learned and put it into action. Once you've landed the first client, the rest will follow. Like I said, if you can land one, you can land five. If you can land five, you can get 10. If you can get 10, you can get 50. If you can get 50, you can get 100. If you can get 100, you can get 1,000. So it will come. It's just a matter of time. So your next step is review all the resources that we've included right below this video, download all the templates, build out your list of prospects, and then let's get to work here, guys. Let's start reaching out, and we're here to support you in the community to help you acquire as many clients as possible. Fantastic, guys. See you in the next module. Thank you.